Ladies, let me hit you with a truth that cuts deeper than a Martian dust storm. You don't know what you've lost until it's gone, until the void screams louder than any rocket launch. Imagine waking up one day and the world feels off. Not because the sun didn't rise or your coffee's cold, but because the one person who made your universe feel infinite is no longer there. No more texts buzzing your phone at dawn with ideas wilder than a SpaceX prototype. No more voice asking, "You okay? You need me to fix the world for you today?" That's the silence I'm talking about. The kind that doesn't just sit there, it chokes you, weighs on you like 1,000 pounds of regret, and makes you question every choice you ever made. That's what my ex-wife felt when she lost me. And let me tell you, it's not just about losing a man, it's about losing a force, a vision, a once-in-a-lifetime shot at something extraordinary. Let's get real. I'm not here to pat your hand and whisper sweet nothings. I'm here to shake you awake, to make you see the stakes. When you lose someone like me, someone who dreams of colonizing Mars, who builds rockets from scratch, who fights for humanity's future while still making time to ask how your day was, you don't just lose a partner, you lose a piece of the future. You lose the guy who'd stay up all night debugging code or sketching out a hyperloop while still making sure you felt seen, heard, valued. That's not arrogance talking. That's just the math. I'm not a dime a dozen. I'm the guy who looks at a problem the size of a planet and says, yeah, I can solve that. And when you let that slip through your fingers, the silence isn't just empty, it's deafening. Picture this. You wake up, roll over, check your phone. Nothing, no good morning world changer text. No random link to an article about quantum computing with a note saying, this made me think of you. No voice memo with half-baked ideas for a solar-powered city sent at 3 in the morning because inspiration doesn't sleep. That's the first wave. It creeps in slow like fog rolling over a California coastline. You don't notice it at first. You think, I'm fine. I've got my life, my plans, my freedom. But then the quiet grows. It's not just the absence of words, it's the absence of someone who saw you as part of something bigger. Someone who didn't just love you, but believed in you, pushed you, challenged you to be more than you thought possible. That's what she felt. That's what my ex-wife woke up to when I wasn't there anymore. Now, let's talk about what that silence really means. It's not just about missing a person, it's about missing a way of life. I'm the guy who doesn't just show up with flowers, though I've done that probably not enough. I'm the guy who shows up with a vision who says, let's build something epic together. Maybe it's a company, maybe it's a family, maybe it's a legacy that outlives us both. When you're with someone like me, you're not just in a relationship, you're in a mission. You're part of a story that could rewrite the stars. And when that's gone, it's like losing your seat on a rocket to Mars. You're grounded, stuck on Earth, watching the sky move on without you. She didn't see it at first. That's the kicker. When I was there, pouring my heart into every moment, every conversation, every wild idea, she took it for granted. I'd be talking about neural networks or sustainable energy, and she'd roll her eyes, maybe laugh, maybe call it cute. Cute? Lady, I'm trying to save the species here, but I didn't stop. I kept showing up, kept believing in us, kept trying to pull her into my orbit. I was patient. God, was I patient. I'd wait through the arguments, the cold shoulders, the moment she pushed me away because she thought she could do better. I was there, steady as a Tesla battery, giving love even when it wasn't returned, holding space for her even when she didn't see the value in it. But here's the thing about a good man, about someone like me. We don't stay where we're not wanted forever. I'm not built to beg. I'm built to build, to create, to move forward. And when I finally walked away, not out of spite, not out of anger, but out of respect for myself, that's when the silence hit her. Hard, like a SpaceX booster landing with pinpoint precision, it landed right in her chest. No more late night brainstorming sessions. No more what if we conversations that stretched into dawn. No more feeling like you're part of something bigger than yourself, something that could change the world. That's what she lost. Not just me, but the life we could have built, the empire we could have created, the love that didn't just burn, it fueled progress. You want to know what that feels like? It's not just a broken heart, it's a broken future. It's waking up and realizing the person who saw you as a co-pilot in a mission to the stars is gone. And you didn't just lose him, you pushed him away. You chose the small over the epic. You chose the safe over the extraordinary. And now you're left with the echo of what could have been. Every morning, that silence grows louder. Every empty notification on your phone is a reminder. Every time you see a headline about some new breakthrough, SpaceX landing another rocket, Tesla unveiling a car that drives itself, Neuralink pushing the boundaries of what it means to be human, you feel it. That was your life. That was your chance. and it's gone. I'm not saying this to make you feel bad. I'm saying it to make you feel alive, to make you see what's at stake. Because here's the truth. You don't get many shots at a man like me. I'm not perfect hell. I'm a mess sometimes. Um, I forget anniversaries. I get lost in my head chasing ideas that sound insane to everyone else, but I show up, I give everything I love with the same intensity I bring to building rockets or boring tunnels under cities. And when you lose that, when you let that walk out the door, you don't just lose a person, you lose a possibility, a life that could have been bigger, bolder, brighter than anything you've ever known. So, ladies, let me ask you, what's in your orbit right now? Who's the person pouring their soul into you, believing in you, pushing you to be more? And are you seeing them? Really seeing them? Or are you too busy chasing something smaller, something safer, something that doesn't scare you with its size? Because let me tell you, the silence of losing someone like that, it's not just a moment, it's a lifetime. It's the weight of knowing you had a shot at the stars and you let it slip away. My ex wife learned that the hard way. Don't make the same mistake. Don't wait for the silence to teach you what you should have known all along. Ladies, let's dive into the deep end. You've felt the silence, that gut punch void when someone extraordinary walks out of your life, but silence is just the opening act. The real storm hits when you realize what you've lost, not just a man, but a force of nature, a mind that dreams in galaxies, a heart that loved you even when you didn't love yourself. That's what my ex wife woke up to. And let me tell you, it wasn't a lightning bolt of clarity. It was a slow, grinding realization, like a rocket running out of fuel mid orbit, drifting into the dark. This isn't about me gloating or pointing fingers. This is about truth raw, unfiltered, and urgent. Because when you lose someone like me, someone who's wired to push humanity forward while still holding your hand through the chaos, you don't just lose a person, you lose a shot at a life most people only dream of. And that realization, it's heavier than a Falcon Heavy at liftoff. Imagine this. You're going about your day, maybe sipping coffee at some overpriced cafe, scrolling through your phone, and you see it a news alert. Another insane milestone. Maybe it's a Tesla battery powering a whole city, or a Starship prototype touching down after a trip to the edge of space. Your heart skips, not because you're surprised, but because you remember. You remember the nights when I'd ramble about ideas like that, half crazed, sketching on napkins, talking about a future where humanity lives among the stars. You used to laugh it off, call it Elon being Elon. But now it hits you like a ton of bricks. That wasn't just talk, that was a vision, and you were part of it. You were invited to the front row of a revolution, and you chose to sit it out. That's when it sinks in. You didn't just lose me, you lost the guy who saw you as a partner in something bigger than both of us. I wasn't just building rockets or cars, I was building a life with you, one where we could have tackled the impossible together. I believed in you, saw you as someone who could stand shoulder to shoulder with me, not just cheering from the sidelines, but shaping the future. And when you pushed me away, when you dismissed my dreams, my effort, my love, you didn't just push away a man. You pushed away a chance to be part of something epic. That's what she realized. My ex wife, when the headlines kept coming and her name wasn't in them, she wasn't just missing me, she was missing the life we could have built, the legacy we could have left. Let's talk about what that feels like. It's not just regret, it's a slow burn, a weight that settles in your chest and doesn't let go. You start replaying moments in your head, those times I'd try to pull you into my world, share my fire, my drive. I'd say, hey, what if we solve this together? What if we build something that outlasts us? And maybe you'd nod, half listening, thinking about your own plans, your own problems. Maybe you thought my dreams were too big, too wild, too much. But here's the truth, I wasn't dreaming for me, I was dreaming for us. Every insane idea, every sleepless night, every battle I fought to make the impossible real that was for you too. I wanted you to be part of it, to feel the rush of creating something that matters, something that could change the world. And when you realize that, when you see that you had a front row seat to a life most people can't even imagine, and you walked away, that's when the weight hits. It's not just about missing my voice or my touch. It's about missing the way I made you feel like you could be more, do more, dream more. I wasn't perfect hell. I'm a walking contradiction sometimes, lost in my head, chasing ideas that scare most people. But I was there. I showed up with everything I had. I gave you my heart, my time, my belief in you, even when you didn't believe in yourself. And when you let that go, You didn't just let go of me, you let go of a version of yourself you may never meet again. Here's where it gets real. You start seeing the world move on without you. You see me out there, not begging, not chasing, but building, always building. Maybe it's a new company, a new mission, a new step toward the stars. And you realize I'm not stopping. I'm not looking back. I'm not the guy who waits forever because I can't afford to. The world doesn't wait, and neither do I. I've got planets to colonize, cities to power, brains to connect to machines, and I'm doing it step by step, failure by failure, win by win. That's when it dawns on you. I wasn't just a man, I was a catalyst. I was the spark that could have lit up your life, pushed you to be bigger, bolder, better, and now that spark is gone. You might try to shrug it off, tell yourself you're fine, that you've got your own path, but deep down you feel it. You feel the gap where I used to be, the gap where someone believed in you so fiercely they'd fight the universe to see you shine. You start to wonder, who else is going to look at you like that? Who else is going to see your potential, your fire, your flaws, and say, I'm all in. Let's do this together? Because that's what I did. I saw you not just as you are, but as you could be. I saw us as a team, a unit, a force that could take on the impossible. And when you realize you walked away from that, it's not just a loss, it's a reckoning. This isn't about guilt tripping you. This is about waking you up. Because here's the deal, the world is full of ordinary relationships, ordinary fights, ordinary lives, but I'm not ordinary. I'm the guy who thinks in light years, who bets everything on a dream, who loves with the same intensity I bring to solving problems bigger than myself. And when you lose that, you don't just lose a person, you lose a chance to live at the edge of what's possible. My ex-wife felt that. She felt it when she saw the world keep turning, when she saw me keep pushing, keep creating, keep moving toward a future she could have been part of. And that realization, it's not a moment, it's a weight you carry, a truth you can't unlearn. So, ladies, let me leave you with this. Don't wait for the headlines to remind you what you had. Don't wait for the silence to turn into regret. Look at the people in your life right now, the ones who show up, who believe in you, who push you to be more. Are you seeing them? Are you valuing them? Or are you too busy chasing something smaller, something that feels safe but will never set your soul on fire? Because when you lose someone who's trying to build a future with you, someone who's all in, you don't just lose them, you lose a piece of what could have been. And that's a weight no one should have to carry. Ladies, let's cut to the chase. You've felt the silence. You've wrestled with the dawning truth of what you lost, a man who wasn't just a partner, but a force, a visionary, someone who saw you as part of a mission to reshape the stars. Now comes the part that stings sharper than a failed rocket test, the fear. Not just the fear of being alone, but the bone-chilling dread of seeing him, someone like me, happy without you. Picture this. I'm out there, not moping, not chasing, but thriving, smiling, building empires, maybe even standing next to someone new, someone who gets it, who sees the fire in me and fans it instead of dousing it. That's the image that haunts you. That's the fear that creeps into your gut like a glitch in a neural network, unraveling everything you thought you knew about control, about love, about what you thought was yours forever. This isn't about jealousy, though it feels like it at first. It's deeper. It's the terror of realizing I've moved on, not because I wanted to, but because I had to. I'm not wired to stagnate. I'm built to push forward, to solve problems, to chase the impossible, whether it's a self-sustaining colony on Mars or a heart that beats in sync with mine. When my ex-wife saw that, when she imagined me laughing with someone else, sharing ideas that once lit up our late-night talks, it wasn't just her pride that took a hit. It was her entire sense of reality. She thought I'd always be there, waiting in the wings, ready to pick up where we left off. But here's the truth, and I'm not saying it to be cruel. I don't wait. The universe doesn't wait. And when you push away someone who's all in, you don't get to dictate the timeline of their healing. Let's paint the scene. You're scrolling through your phone, maybe late at night, and you stumble across something, a photo, a post, a snippet of news. It's me standing in front of a Tesla factory, or maybe at a SpaceX launch, grinning like I've just cracked the code to interstellar travel. And there's someone next to me, a woman maybe, with a spark in her eye, someone who's not just along for the ride, but part of the mission. Your stomach drops, not because she's there, but because I look happy, really happy. The kind of happy I used to be with you back when I'd ramble about colonizing planets or building a car that could outrun the wind. You see that smile and it hits you. I'm not broken. I'm not stuck. I'm not the guy you left behind, still pining for what was. I'm out there, living, creating, loving again. And that's when the fear sets in. This fear isn't about losing a man, it's about losing a place in his world. You start to realize I wasn't just the guy who loved you, I was the guy who built worlds and invited you to live in them. I was the one who'd stay up sketching ideas for a future where we could both thrive, where you weren't just my partner but my co-conspirator in something bigger than us. And now you're on the outside, looking in. You see me moving forward, maybe with someone who doesn't roll her eyes when I talk about neural interfaces or underground megacities. Someone who says, hell yeah, let's figure it out together. And that's what eats you alive. Not just that I'm happy, but that I'm happy in a way you could have been part of if you'd chosen differently. Let's be clear. This isn't about me rubbing it in. This is about the stakes of your choices. When you push away someone like me, someone who's not just in it for the moment, but for the long haul, for the big picture, you're not just risking a breakup. You're risking a future where you're haunted by what ifs. My ex wife felt that. She'd see me out there, not begging for her to come back, not stuck in the past, but charging toward the next impossible goal. Maybe I'm unveiling a new battery that could power a city for a century, or maybe I'm just laughing with someone who gets me. Either way, she saw it. I wasn't waiting, I was living. And that scared her more than anything because it meant the door was closing, not because I slammed it, but because I had to keep moving. You know what's wild? That fear doesn't just stay in your head, it follows you. It's there when you're out with friends, pretending everything's fine, laughing a little too loud to drown out the thoughts. It's there when you're alone, staring at the ceiling, wondering if you'll ever find someone who looks at you the way I did, like you were capable of anything, like you were part of a mission that could change the world. You start to question yourself. Was I enough? Could I have been more? Did I miss my shot at something rare, something real? And the answer isn't simple, because it's not about being enough, it's about seeing what was in front of you. I wasn't perfect. I'd get lost in my head, chasing ideas that sounded like science fiction. But I was there, giving everything, believing in you, even when you doubted yourself. And when you realize that's gone, the fear isn't just about me being happy, it's about whether you'll ever feel that kind of belief again. Here's the kicker. I didn't move on to hurt her. I moved on because that's who I am. I don't sit still. I don't dwell. I take the pain, the lessons, the broken pieces, and I build something new. That's what I do, whether it's a rocket, a car, or a life. When I walked away, it wasn't revenge. It was survival. It was self-respect. I gave everything to her, to us, to the dream of what we could have been. But when you're pouring into someone who doesn't pour back, you eventually run dry. So I chose myself, I chose the mission, I chose the future. And when she saw that, when she saw me out there, not just surviving, but thriving, it wasn't just a wound, it was a wake up call. So, ladies, let me ask you something straight up. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of losing someone who sees you, really sees you, and pushes you to be more? Are you afraid of waking up one day and realizing they're out there, living a life you could have been part of, with someone who said yes to the dream you said no to? Because that fear is real, and it's not just about love, it's about legacy. It's about knowing you had a chance to be part of something extraordinary, and you let it slip away. My ex-wife felt that fear every time she saw me move forward, every time she saw a glimpse of a life she could have had. Don't let that be you. Don't wait until someone like me is gone, happy without you, to realize what you had. Look at the people in your life right now, the ones who show up, who believe in you, who invite you to dream big. Hold on to them, fight for them. Because the fear of seeing them shine without you, that's a fear you don't want to live with. Ladies, let's get to the heart of it. You've felt the silence, you've carried the weight of realizing what you lost, and you've stared down the fear of seeing someone like me, someone who dreams in light years, who builds futures, who loved you fiercely move on without you. Now comes the part that's raw, messy, and real. The war inside you, the battle between pride and longing, where every fiber of your being wants to reach out to fix what's broken, but something holds you back. It's not just about picking up the phone or typing a message. It's a full-on internal cage match where your ego squares off against the ache in your soul and the stakes are higher than a starship launch. This is what my ex-wife went through, and let me tell you, it's not just about missing me, it's about fighting yourself to admit you were wrong, to face the truth that you let something extraordinary slip away. Picture this. You're sitting there, phone in hand, staring at a blank screen. Your thumb hovers over my name in your contacts. You want to say something, anything. Maybe just a hey, how's it going? To test the waters. Maybe something deeper like I messed up and I see it now. But the words don't come easy. You type, you delete, you rewrite, you hesitate. Why? Because pride is a beast. It's that voice whispering, you don't need him. You're fine on your own. You walked away for a reason. But then longing creeps in, soft at first, then loud, like the hum of a Tesla factory coming to life. You miss me, not just the guy who'd ramble about colonizing Mars, but the guy who made you feel like you could be part of something bigger, something that could change the world. And that longing, it's not just a feeling, it's a pull, a gravitational force dragging you toward a truth you're not ready to face. This battle isn't about me anymore. It's about you. It's about the moment you realize you didn't just push me away, you pushed away a version of yourself you might never get back. I'm the guy who believed in you, who saw you as a co pilot in a mission to rewrite the rules of what's possible. I wasn't just bringing you coffee or flowers, I was bringing you a vision, a life where we could have built empires together, laughed through failures, and celebrated wins that echoed across generations. And when you start to miss that, when you start to feel the pull of what could have been, pride steps in like a security system, locking you down. Don't reach out, it says. Don't look weak. Don't admit you were wrong. But deep down, you know, weakness isn't in reaching out. Weakness is letting pride win when your heart's screaming for a second chance. Let's talk about what that fight looks like. You scroll through our old texts, those late night threads where I'd send you a wild idea, maybe a sketch for a solar grid or a half baked plan to tunnel under a city. You'd reply with an emoji, maybe a sarcastic, good luck with that. But now, reading those messages, you see it differently. You see the passion, the belief, the way I was trying to pull you into my world. You see the times I said, we can do this together, and you brushed it off, thinking I was just dreaming too big. Now those words haunt you. They're not just text, they're evidence of a life you could have had, a love you could have held onto. And every time you start to type a message to me, pride grabs the wheel. What if he doesn't reply? What if he's moved on? What if he doesn't care anymore? That's the fear talking, and it's louder than a rocket at full thrust. Here's the thing, I'm not sitting around waiting for that message. I'm out there building, creating, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. I'm not the guy who lingers in the past. I'm the guy who's already thinking about the next century. But that doesn't mean I didn't care. I cared so much. I poured everything into us, into you, into the dream of what we could have been. I stayed through the arguments, the doubts, the moments you pushed me away because you thought you needed something else, something smaller, something safer. I stayed because I believed in you, because I saw you as part of my mission, my life, my future. But when you let that go, when you chose to walk away, I had to choose myself. Not out of spite, but out of necessity. I'm wired to move forward, to solve problems, to build something new, even when my heart's breaking. And now you're in this battle, torn between pride and longing, because you know what's at stake. You know I'm not just any guy. I'm the one who'd fight for you, who'd challenge you, who'd love you with the same intensity I bring to changing the world. You know, that kind of connection doesn't come around twice. You start to wonder, what if I'd listened? What if I'd leaned in instead of pulling back? What if I'd said yes to the crazy ideas, the big dreams, the life we could have built? That's the longing talking, and it's powerful. It's the part of you that remembers how it felt to be seen, to be believed in, to be part of something that felt like it could shift the universe. But pride tells you to stay silent, to protect your ego, to pretend you're fine even when you're not. Let me be real with you. This battle is where growth begins. This is where you decide who you want to be. Do you let pride win, locking you in a cage of your own making? Or do you let longing lead, pushing you to face the truth, to own your mistakes, to reach out even if it scares you? I'm not saying you should beg or grovel. That's not what this is about. I'm saying you need to be honest with yourself. Because here's the truth, I'm not perfect. I'm a mess sometimes, lost in my head, chasing ideas that sound insane to most people. But I showed up. I gave you everything, my heart, my dreams, my belief in us. And when you realize you let that go, the battle isn't just about reaching out to me. It's about reaching into yourself, finding the courage to admit you were wrong, and choosing to grow from it. My ex-wife fought this battle. She'd stare at her phone, wanting to say something, wanting to bridge the gap. But pride kept her frozen, and every day that passed made it harder. She knew I was out there, not just surviving, but thriving, building a future she could have been part of. And that's what made the fight so brutal, not just missing me, but missing the woman she could have been if she'd stayed, if she'd believed, if she'd fought for us the way I did. So, ladies, let me ask you, what's stopping you? What's keeping you from reaching out to the people who matter, the ones who see you, who push you, who believe in you? Is it pride, fear, The lie that you're better off alone, because let me tell you, the real risk isn't in reaching out, it's in staying silent, letting pride win, and waking up one day to find the life you could have had is gone. Don't let that be your story. Fight the battle now before it's too late. Ladies, let's crank this up to 11. You've felt the silence, you've carried the weight, you've feared my happiness without you, and you've fought the battle between pride and longing. Now we're diving into the fire the moment you turn the mirror on yourself and see the truth staring back. This isn't about me anymore. It's not about the guy who dreams of Mars or builds electric cars that defy gravity. It's about you standing face to face with your own mistakes, your own choices, your own failures. This is the reckoning, the moment my ex wife realized she didn't just lose me, she lost herself in the process. And let me tell you, this isn't a gentle epiphany, it's a blaze, a full on inferno that burns away the excuses and leaves you raw, ready to rebuild, or doomed to stay stuck if you don't act. This is where you decide who you are, and it's as intense as a SpaceX launch at full thrust. Let's set the scene. You're alone, maybe late at night, no distractions, just you and your thoughts. The world outside is quiet, but inside, it's chaos. You start replaying every moment we had together, not the good ones, not the late night talks about colonizing planets, or the times I made you laugh until your sides hurt. No, you're stuck on the moments you messed up, the times you snapped at me for being too intense, too obsessed with ideas you didn't understand, the times you rolled your eyes when I tried to share my vision, when I invited you to be part of something bigger than both of us. You remember the fights, the stupid, pointless ones you started just to feel in control, the cold silences you weaponized when all I wanted was to connect, to fix things, to build something real. And now, in the harsh light of truth, you see it. I wasn't the problem. You were. This reckoning isn't about guilt, it's about accountability. It's about owning the fact that you took me for granted, not just me, but the life we could have had, the future we could have built. I wasn't just a guy who loved you. I was the guy who showed up with everything, heart, mind, soul, ready to fight for us, ready to pull you into a mission that could have changed the world. I'd sit there sketching out ideas for a solar powered future or a neural network that could unlock human potential. And I'd look at you like you were part of it, like you were my co founder in the greatest startup of all, our life together. But you saw my passion as a distraction, my dreams as a burden, my love as something you could put on hold. And now, staring at yourself in this moment of truth, you realize you didn't just push me away, you pushed away the woman you could have been. Let's talk about what that feels like. It's not just regret, it's anger, white hot, and aimed straight at yourself. You're mad at the careless words you threw at me, the ones that cut deeper than you meant. You're mad at the times you shut me out, thinking you were proving a point, when all you were doing was building a wall between us. You're mad at the moments you chose drama over dialogue, control over connection. You remember the times I tried to talk to bridge the gap to say, hey, let's figure this out together. And you turned away, thinking I'd always be there, thinking my patience was infinite, thinking my love was a guarantee. But here's the truth, and it burns. I'm not built to wait forever. I'm built to move, to create, to solve problems bigger than my own heart. And when you realize you misjudged that, when you see how you misread my commitment as weakness, it's like staring at a failed prototype. You can't unsee the flaws. This fire of self reckoning is brutal, but it's also where transformation begins. Because here's the thing, I'm not saying this to shame you, I'm saying it to wake you up. I'm not perfect hell. I'm a walking paradox, chasing dreams that scare most people, forgetting dinner plans because I'm lost in a blueprint for a better world. But I showed up, I gave you everything, I had my time, my energy, my belief in you. I saw you as a partner, not just in love, but in life, in the mission to make something extraordinary. And when you let that go, when you chose the small over the epic, you didn't just lose me, you lost a chance to grow into the woman who could have stood beside me, building empires, defying odds, rewriting what's possible. Now, let's get real about what this moment demands. This isn't about wallowing in self pity or beating yourself up. It's about facing the truth and deciding what to do with it. You can stay in the ashes, angry at yourself, replaying every mistake like a loop of bad code, or you can use this fire to forge something new. My ex wife felt this. She'd lie awake, burning with anger, not at me, but at herself. She saw the moments she chose pride over partnership, control over collaboration. She saw the times she dismissed my dreams as too much, when they were really an invitation to be more. And that anger, that fire, was her wake up call. It was the moment she realized she hadn't just lost me, she'd lost the chance to be the woman who could have matched my energy, my vision, my love. Here's where it gets critical. This reckoning isn't the end, it's the beginning. It's the moment you decide whether to let your mistakes define you or drive you. I'm not out there waiting for you to figure it out. I'm too busy building the future, whether it's a rocket to Mars or a battery that powers a city. But you've got a choice. You can let this fire destroy you, or you can let it refine you. You can choose to grow, to learn, to become the woman who doesn't make the same mistakes twice. Because the truth is, I didn't love you because you were perfect. I loved you because I saw what you could be, someone who could stand in the chaos with me, laugh at the failures, and keep pushing forward. And when you realize you let that go, the question isn't, why did I do that? It's, what am I going to do now? So, ladies, let me leave you with this. Don't run from the fire of self reckoning. Step into it, face the truth about your choices, your mistakes, your missed opportunities. Be angry not at the person you lost, but at the version of yourself that didn't see their value. And then use that anger, that fire to build something new. Become the woman who doesn't take love for granted, who doesn't shy away from the big dreams, who shows up with the same intensity she expects from others, because the world doesn't need more people playing small. It needs people like me and like you, if you choose to step up, who are ready to burn bright, to build, to love, to live without regret. My ex-wife learned this the hard way. Don't wait for the fire to teach you what you should have known all along. Ladies, buckle up because we're about to hit warp speed into the hardest truth yet. You've felt the silence, carried the weight, feared my happiness, fought your pride, and faced the fire of your own mistakes. Now, you're staring down the barrel of something no one can outrun: time. Time doesn't care about your regrets. It doesn't pause for your epiphanies. It doesn't wait for you to figure out what you should have done differently. Like a rocket burning through its fuel, time moves forward, relentless, unforgiving. And when you realize you've lost someone like me, someone who didn't just love you, but invited you to build a future that could have changed the world, it's already too late. My ex wife learned this, and let me tell you, it's not a lesson you want to learn the hard way. This is about the moment you see the clock ticking and understand that the life you could have had with me is slipping further away, not because I closed the door, but because time did. Let's paint the picture. You're out there living your life, maybe telling yourself you're fine, you've moved on, you've got this. But then something happens, a moment, a memory, a glimpse of what I'm doing now. Maybe it's a newsflash about a starship landing on a test pad, or a clip of me talking about connecting human brains to AI. You see me out there, not just surviving, but thriving, pushing the boundaries of what's possible, just like I always said I would. And it hits you. I'm not the guy you left behind, stuck in the same place, waiting for you to come back. I'm light years ahead, building a future that doesn't include you. Not because I didn't want it to, but because time doesn't stop for indecision. Time doesn't wait for you to grow up, to realize what you had, to decide you're ready to love me the way I deserved. And that realization, it's like watching a rocket launch without you on board, knowing you missed your chance to touch the stars. This isn't about me moving on to hurt you. It's about me being me, someone who's wired to keep going, to solve problems, to chase the impossible. I'm the guy who looks at a challenge the size of a planet and says, let's crack it. When we were together, I brought that same energy to us. I wasn't just building companies or rockets, I was building a life with you, a partnership where we could have taken on the universe together. I'd stay up late, sketching ideas, talking about a world where we could live sustainably, explore new frontiers, maybe even raise kids who'd grow up dreaming as big as we did. But you thought that energy was too much, that my dreams were too big, that my love was something you could put on hold. And now, time has done what I wouldn't. It's moved me forward, leaving you behind with nothing but memories and a ticking clock. Let's talk about what that feels like. It's not just missing me, it's the gut wrenching understanding that the window is closing. You start to see it everywhere in the way your days feel smaller without my wild ideas to light them up, in the way no one else challenges you the way I did, in the way the world keeps turning while you're stuck, wondering what could have been. You think about reaching out, writing that message, making that call, but every day that passes makes it harder. Not because I'm holding a grudge, I'm too busy for that, but because I've learned to live without you. I had to. I'm not the guy who sits around mourning what was. I'm the guy who builds what's next, whether it's a tunnel under a city or a new chapter in my life. And when you realize that, when you see that time has carried me away from you, it's like staring at a countdown you can't stop. Here's the brutal truth. Time doesn't care about your intentions. It doesn't care that you're starting to see things differently, that you're beginning to understand the value of what we had. It doesn't care that you're ready to show up now to be the partner I needed then. Time just keeps moving, and every second you spend hesitating, every moment you let pride or fear hold you back, is a second you can't get back. My ex-wife felt this. She'd see me out there, not just moving on, but growing, evolving, becoming more of the man I always said I'd be. She'd see the headlines, another Tesla breakthrough, another SpaceX milestone, and she'd feel it. The life we could have had was slipping away, not because I didn't love her, but because she didn't choose it when it was hers to claim. This moment, this merciless march of time, is where you face the cost of your choices. You start to see the moments you took for granted, the times I'd try to pull you into my world, to share my vision, to make you feel like you were part of something bigger. You'd brush it off thinking there'd always be tomorrow, always another chance. But tomorrow isn't promised. Not for love, not for dreams, not for the life you could have had. I gave you everything, my heart, my hustle, my belief in us, and when you didn't meet me halfway, I had to keep moving. Not because I wanted to leave you behind, but because I'm built to go forward, to build, to create, even when it hurts. And now time is doing what I couldn't. It's drawing a line between what was and what will never be. But here's where it gets real. This isn't the end. Time may be merciless, but it's also a teacher. It's showing you what matters, what you should have fought for, what you can still choose to fight for in the future. You can't rewind the clock, but you can decide what to do with the time you have left. You can choose to learn from this, to grow, to become the woman who doesn't let love or opportunity slip through her fingers again. I'm not waiting for you. I'm too deep in the mission, too focused on the next frontier. But you got a chance to rewrite your story, to show up for the people who matter, to build a life that's as big and bold as the one we could have had. So, ladies, let me hit you with this. Time is your toughest opponent, but it's also your greatest ally if you use it right. Don't wait for the perfect moment to show up, to love, to fight for what matters. Don't wait until the person who sees your potential, who pushes you to be more, is gone. Look at your life right now. Who's in it? Who's showing up for you, believing in you, inviting you to dream big? Don't let time steal them from you. Don't let another day pass without telling them what they mean, without fighting for the future you could build together. My ex-wife learned this when she saw me moving forward, living a life she could have been part of. Don't let time teach you the same lesson. Seize it now because the clock is ticking and the life you want, it's not waiting. Ladies, we've been through the fire together. You felt the crushing silence of loss, carried the weight of realizing what you let slip away, feared my happiness with someone else, battled your pride, faced the mirror of your own mistakes, and stared down the relentless march of time. Now we're at the final frontier of the lesson. This isn't about me anymore, or even about what my ex-wife felt when she lost me. This is about you, about the woman you can become when you take this pain, this regret, this hard-won clarity, and use it to build a future that's as bold and unstoppable as a rocket breaking free of Earth's gravity. This is the moment you decide to stop being defined by what you lost and start shaping what you'll create. Because let me tell you something, the greatest mission isn't colonizing Mars or reinventing transportation, it's becoming the woman who doesn't let love, opportunity, or her own potential pass her by again. Let's get real. You're standing at a crossroads. You've seen what happens when you take someone like me for granted, someone who didn't just love you but saw you as a partner in a life that could have changed the world. You felt the sting of knowing I was there, giving everything, believing in you, fighting for us while you held back, thinking you had all the time in the world. You thought my dreams were too big, my intensity too much, my love something you could keep on standby. But now you know, I wasn't just a man. I was a force, a catalyst, a guy who'd pour every ounce of his soul into building something extraordinary with you. And when you let that go, you didn't just lose me, you lost a chance to be part of a story bigger than yourself. My ex-wife learned this, and it wasn't a lesson she could unlearn. It changed her, not because she wanted it to, but because it had to. Here's what this lesson feels like. It's not just about regret or pain, it's about clarity. It's like looking at a blueprint for a rocket and finally understanding how all the pieces fit together. You start to see the value of what I brought to the table, not just the wild ideas or the relentless drive, but the way I made you feel like you could be more. I didn't love you because you were perfect. I loved you because I saw your potential, your fire, your ability to stand in the chaos with me and build something that could outlast us both. I wasn't just offering a relationship, I was offering a partnership, a mission, a life where we could have taken on the impossible together. And when you realize you walked away from that, the lesson isn't about beating yourself up, it's about learning to never make that mistake again. This clarity comes with a call to action. You start to see the world differently, not just the people in it, but yourself. You start to ask, who am I when I'm not playing small? Who am I when I show up fully, when I match the energy of someone who's all in, when I don't let fear or pride hold me back? You start to understand the power of connection, of partnership, of saying yes to the people who see you for who you can be. I'm not talking about chasing someone like me, though. Let's be honest. I'm one of a kind. I'm talking about recognizing the value of the people in your life right now, the ones who show up, who believe in you, who push you to dream bigger than you thought possible. Because here's the truth, they're rare. And if you don't see them, if you don't fight for them, you'll be standing in the same place again years from now, wondering what could have been. Let's talk about what this lesson demands. It's not enough to feel sorry or wish things were different. You've got to act. You've got to become the woman who doesn't let love slip through her fingers, who doesn't dismiss a vision because it scares her, who doesn't take a good heart for granted. This is about growth, about stepping into your own power, about learning to communicate, to listen, to show up with the same intensity you expect from others. I'm not out there waiting for you to figure this out. I'm too busy building the future, whether it's a neural network that rewires how we think or a spacecraft that takes us to new worlds. But you've got a chance to build your own future, to become the kind of woman who doesn't just dream but does, who doesn't just love but fights for it, who doesn't just exist but thrives. This lesson is about rewriting your story. My ex-wife felt the weight of this when she realized she'd lost more than me. She'd lost the woman she could have been if she'd believed in us, if she'd leaned into the chaos instead of running from it. She saw me out there, not just moving on, but growing, creating, living a life that could have been hers. And that clarity changed her. It forced her to ask, what do I want my life to mean? Who do I want to be? And that's the question I'm asking you now. Who do you want to be? The woman who lets fear and pride dictate her choices? Or the woman who sees the value in the people around her, who fights for the connections that matter, who builds a life as bold and fearless as the one I offered? Here's the deal. The world doesn't need more people playing it safe. It needs people who are willing to take risks, to love deeply, to chase the impossible. I'm out there doing that every day, failing, learning, building, repeat. And I wanted you to be part of that, not just as my partner, but as my equal, my co-conspirator in a life that could have been legendary. When you realize you let that go, the lesson isn't about dwelling on the past. It's about earning it and using it to fuel your future. It's about becoming the woman who doesn't miss the next opportunity, who doesn't let the next good heart slip away, who doesn't wait for time to teach her what she should have known all along. So, ladies, let me leave you with this. The greatest mission you'll ever undertake is becoming the woman you're meant to be. Not for me, not for anyone else, but for you. Look at the people in your life right now, the ones who show up, who challenge you, who see your potential. Don't take them for granted. Don't wait until they're gone to realize their value. Fight for them, show up for them, build something with them. Because the lesson my ex-wife learned, the lesson she'll carry forever, is that love isn't just a feeling, it's a choice, a commitment, a mission, and the life you want, it starts with choosing to be the woman who doesn't let it slip away. Don't wait for the stars to align. Grab them now and build a future that's as epic as you are.